Hello children, welcome back to Mother's Digital Curriculum. Let us continue with the chapter 3 current electricity formula part 2 for class 12 children. So the next formula is related to temperature coefficient of resistivity alpha equal to rho minus rho naught divided by rho naught T minus T naught. This can also be written as 1 by rho naught into d rho by dt. D rho is nothing but the difference in resistivity, rho minus rho naught, where rho naught is the resistivity at a lower reference temperature, usually at 20 degrees Celsius. The same temperature coefficient we can write in terms of resistance. So alpha equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into T2 minus T1. T1 equal to 0 degrees Celsius, T2 equal to T degrees Celsius. This formula can be rewritten as alpha equal to RT minus R naught divided by R naught into T minus 0, which can be written as R naught into T. Rearranging this, you'll get RT. RT is the resistance at that particular instant temperature, R naught into 1 plus alpha T, alpha temperature coefficient of resistance. Now we'll come back to the resistance in series. Actually, this is most important in practical point of view. So if you connect resistors in series, you might have learned this in class 10 also. If you connect resistance in series, the net resistance is calculated as sum of the individual resistance R1, R2. So R is equal to R1 plus R2. The SI unit is ohm. Similarly, if the resistance are connected in parallel, the net resistance can be written as 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 dot dot dot, where Rp, R1, R2 are measured in ohm. The next one, EMF. So you might have learned the difference between EMF and voltage. So EMF of a cell can be written as the ratio of the work done to carry a charge from one point to another point, especially from the lower potential to the higher potential. So epsilon equal to W by Q. What is the relation between epsilon? Epsilon is nothing but EMF, V, the terminal potential difference current. So epsilon is equal to V plus IR. This small r represent internal resistance in the cell. Capital V is the potential difference across the terminal or outside the terminal, which can be written as V equal to IR. Substituting, you'll get I. Substituting this, we'll get a epsilon equal to I, open the bracket, R plus R. From this, I can write I equal to epsilon by R plus R. The next one is terminal potential difference of a cell. So we know that V equal to IR. Already we calculated I. I is epsilon R plus R. Substituting this, you will get V equal to epsilon into R divided by R plus R. Capital R represent your external resistance connected in the circuit. Small r, internal resistance of the cell. Most important formula, the relation between V, epsilon and small r. So V equal to epsilon minus. So already I wrote epsilon equal to V plus IR. From this I can write V equal to epsilon minus IR. Based on this formula, we used to calculate the net equivalent EMF and equivalent resistance if the cells are combined in series and parallel. So from I can write my terminal potential difference. Terminal potential when a current is being charged. When you're charging the cell, the formula used is V equal to epsilon plus. So when you're drawing current, it is minus. When you're charging, it is plus. The next formula, internal resistance, small r equal to R into epsilon minus V divided by V. Whether it is internal resistance or external resistance, it should be measured in ohm. Now we'll come back to the cells in series. So when the cells are connected in series, the net equivalent EMF is given as summation of individual resistance and net internal resistance is summation of individual resistance. Similarly, I can go for cells in parallel. When you are connecting cells in parallel, we'll be getting the answer as epsilon EQE equal to epsilon 1 R2 plus epsilon 2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. This is an important derivation. Make sure you understand the derivation well. If you have any doubt, comment in the comment section. We'll discuss. Req will be equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Let me call this as equation 1 and equation 2. When you divide 1 divided by 2, you will get this relation. So E EQU by R EQ will be epsilon 1 by R1 plus epsilon 2 by R2. And from this, I can also calculate my internal resistance when they are connected in parallel is 1 by REQ equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 dot dot dot. Now, if I connect the cells in series, what will be the condition to draw maximum current? So in series combination, the final current formula will be, formula for current is I equal to N epsilon by R plus NR. Here N represent the number of cells which is connected in series. So the condition is, if the external resistance is much greater than the total internal resistance, we can ignore NR in this formula. So we'll get N epsilon by R. What is epsilon by R? It is the current. So it is N times the current drawn from a single cell. So the condition to draw the maximum current if the cells are connected in series is the external resistance should be much higher than the total internal resistance. Similarly, when you connect the cells in parallel, what will be the condition to draw the maximum current? So formula is I equal to M epsilon by MR plus R. Since I have used N for number of cells connected in series, I am using M for cells connected in parallel. That's all. So formula is M epsilon by MR plus R. The condition is if external resistance is much lesser than internal resistance, this factor have to be ignored, so that it will be M epsilon by R, which is equal to M times the current drawn from a single cell. So the final result is external resistance should be smaller when compared to the internal resistance. So if you are connecting cells in series, external resistance should be greater compared to the internal resistance. If you are connecting cells in parallel, external resistance should be smaller. The next one is, if you connect the cells in series as well as cells in parallel, the combination, mixed group of both series and parallel, now the formula will be I equal to Mn epsilon by Mr plus Nr. N is the number of cells connected in series and M is the number of cells connected in parallel. So we can get the formula as I equal to Mn epsilon by Mr plus Nr. So in this condition, the internal resistance and the external resistance should be equal in order to draw the maximum current from the cells. Then we'll move on to the heat produced formula. Heat produced by electric current. Already these things we discussed in our class 10. So we know that Kirchhoff law. So first law, your KCL rule, current, Kirchhoff current law, summation I equal to 0 at any junction. So the incoming current is equal to outgoing current. We can write like incoming current. So arrow mark, if the arrow mark is like this, if the arrow mark is towards the junction, it is called incoming current. If the arrow mark is away the junction, it is outgoing current. So the total current at the junction point is 0. Summation I equal to 0. It can be also written as total incoming current equal to total outgoing current. Kirchhoff's second law is your summation epsilon equal to summation IR. This is the EMF and this is the potential difference across the component. So the total EMF, the net EMF should be 0. So summation epsilon minus summation IR should be equal to 0, or net change in potential should be equal to 0, or it can also be written as summation epsilon equal to summation IR. The next one is Wheatstone bridge. So you will be connecting 4 resistors in bridge format. In that, the condition for balancing the bridge, when the galvanometer show null deflection. So when the galvanometer show null deflection, it will be called as balancing condition. In that condition, we can write P by Q equal to R by S, rearranging this formula to calculate the unknown resistor. The same thing can be applied for your meter bridge, the special application of Wheatstone bridge. So P by Q equal to R by S. So the P and Q can be taken from the wire. So L by 100 minus L. Rearranging this formula, you will get S equal to, if a P can be measured as L, Q is 100 minus L. If you go through the experiment, you will be understanding how P will be equal to L. Q will be 100 minus L. So rearranging this formula, will get S equal to 100 minus L divided by L into R. So calculating the unknown resistor with the help of the known resistors under the balancing condition. So that's all for chapter 3. Go through the formulas. Make sure you thorough the formulas, understand the formulas, practice the numericals. If you have any doubt, comment in comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day, children.